Hey, what's up, everybody? Fred Minnick here, and today I'm going to taste the latest from Larceny, the barrel proof A123. So this is the first release of the year with their barrel proof series. Now, for those not familiar with Larceny, I'll give you a little history behind it. Larceny is a brand that comes out in the mid 2011, 2010 ish. It came out early enough that it made my book Whiskey Women because the kind of creator of the thought behind it was Kate Shapiro. Of course, now she runs Heaven Hill, but then she was, I think her title was like the vice president of marketing or something like that. And they were having some issues selling Old Fitzgerald. If you remember 2010, the bourbon boom was just kind of beginning, and a lot of these brands that were on the shelf for Heaven Hill were super, super inexpensive, and they weren't moving. The whiskey was, outweighed like the sales in comparison to other brands. So they rebranded Old Fitzgerald, keeping their story of the key and redoing it as Larceny. So they essentially got rid of like the bottom shelf Old Fitzgerald and would later rebrand that into the high level decanter series that comes out, the Bottle and Bond series that comes out every year. And then they started doing Larceny, which regular Larceny is 92 proof. Their limited edition series, their barrel proof, comes out 3 times a year, and this one's rocking at 125.8 proof. So that's a little background on it for you. I always like to give the background on the brands if I can, because I think it helps you understand bourbon a little more, and I think it helps you enjoy the product. And if you're just guzzling bourbon, I'm probably not the right channel for you to begin with. I'm all about education and teaching people. Just ask the folks over at Club Marzipan. I love teaching. So we are going to go ahead and start this. Now, I have already tasted this several times this year, but blind. And I actually have not seen my results of my spirits competition yet. But I know that this product was entered, and I have tasted it several times in the American Spirits Council of Tasters. But this is the first time that I have knowingly tasted it, and I'm going to give you an open review, which means not blind. Here we go. First of all, look at that color. That's a really, really rich, really dark color there. Now, Larceny is a wheated bourbon, which means they use wheat as a secondary grain versus rye. Bourbon always has to be primarily corn. And this is a butter and caramel bomb, just like butter and caramel in a pan together, getting, or maybe it's the butter caramelizing, right? But no, it's a big caramel bomb right there on the nose. You see me going back and forth. I like isolating my nostrils. I get different notes on each side. And sometimes like allergies at play, and you got one nostril that's working, the other one's not. So this is really effective if you've got a nose that's a little weaker at a certain time of season. Okay, really smells great. Wow. That caramel comes over from the nose to the palate. Caramel bomb continues. The way it's presenting itself is it's like a wave on the tongue. It hits the tip of the tongue, goes all the way back, curls up underneath, and it just blankets the entire palate with caramel. And honestly, it sounds, I would criticize myself hearing that, like, oh, that's a weak sauce review. Give me something else. But this is genuinely a big, giant caramel bomb. Wow. Big old caramel bomb. I'm pretty sure, too. I'm going back in my memory, too, of like my blind tasting that we just did on the bourbon side for the American Spirits Council of Tasters. I'm pretty sure I know which one which one that was. So I'll be excited to see if I'm right on that. I will put in the comments later on if I was right or wrong. But the way that the caramel wave just goes back, I'm pretty sure it's the one I think it is. All right, so on the second taste, I know it's a caramel bomb. Let me try to find out what else is there. I'm getting some like, so like the little, you got the corn husk of a you got a corn husk that's surrounding a nice hot tamale. That tamale, that little corn, that thick corn, floury, that's holding in that beef or chicken or whatever. That thick piece of tamale, that's that next level of flavor for me. After that, honestly, I'm not really sure. The caramel flavor is so pronounced, it makes it more difficult to find something else. Now, I found the tamale note pretty easily, but let me taste one more time. I'll do that for you. Doing this for America. Maybe a little honey, maybe a touch of cinnamon, but yeah, I hate to say it, but if this is your first time seeing one of my reviews, I assure you, I normally have more than one note, but this is just a caramel bomb, and damn, does it finish long. Finishes long and strong with, you guessed it, a hint of caramel. So, I mean, if you like caramel, I think the Larceny A123 will be your jam. But if you're not someone who likes barrel proof bourbon, you do feel the intensity of it. I like that, but if you don't like barrel proof, you may add water to this, even maybe drink it with ice, although I would recommend drinking this neat, or completely stay away from it. I think if you're not accustomed to barrel proof, you don't like barrel proof, you don't have to force that down your throat. It's okay if you don't like it. But for those of you who do like barrel proof, this is a home run of another kind. So, yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. And if you want to check out more of my Club Marzipan stuff, they got to see this review before anybody else. Just head on over to that link in the description. But be safe out there, folks. And remember, vodka sucks unless, and I'm told, it's used to clean up a dead cat. It's a whole new inside joke we got going here on the channel. Cheers, y'all.